Can money buy you happiness? I'm going to share the answer that it may be really eye-opening to you momentarily. And I'm going to be sharing in the form of my personal journey because I think that's more illustrative than giving you bullet points that you need to do. Because I've learned this the hard way, and it's cost me nearly $1 million in issues, likely more, and basically a life or death experience for myself to be able to learn this answer. I'm going to share with you the answer momentarily. I want you to stay until the end of this video because I have a special gift to give to you. So why am I sharing this with you? It's because I believe you are also interested in on the path, interested in meditation, spirituality, entrepreneurship, and self-development. And this is a really, really key important aspect that I think we can help bring you from point A, which is wherever you are right now, to point B, which is where you want to go, faster and easier than ever before. Instead of taking, if this is point A and this is point B, instead of taking the long route, kind of going over here. And a lot of times people don't even reach. They think they will, and they give up a lot, but they end up kind of being down here, point B is here, and they really never reach it. And then they realize, wow, my life is almost up. And we don't want to be there. We want to put that aside and step up our life and make it a lot easier. So let me start out with my story. I grew up in California for most of my life, a little bit in New York when I was a little kid. And I tell this story when I was about 2 or 3 years old and I was carrying a bunch of logs and I couldn't even see over them. So imagine this little kid, he's carrying them. My dad said, "Do you want some help?" And I said, "Me do, me do, me do." And I've had that attitude for a long time, and that resistant or that cup is full, I know everything type of attitude really is something that I had to get rid of to actually be open to and enable me to go from point A to point B a lot easier and sooner, but it took me a while. However, I started out pretty young already having that independent, I know it all type of attitude. Nevertheless, I walked around in circles with the logs, so didn't even work then. When I was growing up, my parents were either first generation or second. My dad had come when he was 14 to the States. My mom was born in the States, Chicago, and they met in university. They had absolutely nothing. They were really, really poor, but they worked really hard and studied a lot. So I grew up with the mentality that one needs to study and work hard and give up today to have tomorrow. At the same time, I wanted something better. I remember my parents, they would go to garage sales, and I remember in high school wearing some clothes that maybe didn't fit me right. I think they called them floods. I don't know if people still use that term. When your jeans, they're not as long enough because you didn't buy them exactly for yourself. And so in high school, people made fun of me, and obviously that kind of left an impression that I want to do something different with my life. So I set an intention that I was going to have various different businesses. So I was from a really early age, and I had the first business at the age of 16. And I was really proud of that. They even put a clipping on the wall in my, I think it was elementary or junior high or something like that on the wall, and I was really proud of that. So I was focused on money to give me happiness from a really, really early age because I grew up in an environment where there wasn't much. I remember my parents would recycle paper towels, which disposable paper towels, they would wash them, and so there are all these paper towels drying around the kitchen, which kind of made it look kind of, at least to me growing up, it just looked really wrong in the kitchen. Looked really, and going into garage sales and getting stuff secondhand and things like that, well, it was kind of fun to find new things. When I started being teased for having things that didn't fit, it obviously wasn't the most positive thing growing up. So I definitely didn't come from having a ton of money. But I did work really hard, and I started different businesses and things like that, and eventually I went to the university. And I went to UCSD, and I was studying computer engineering, which was really, really hard. And I had started a business, an internet marketing business, and I was planning on leaving the university. However, an individual who was older, he had left and then come back to finish his university. He said, "Eric, finish, it's really, really important." So I did. And it's not even tongue-in-cheek, but the surf classes and the soccer classes, which they gave a grade to, they helped balance out my grades from some of the really, really challenging engineering classes. So I did graduate. I think it took me 5 years. And then I started out, I was talking to you about point A to point B. I started out really on the plan of I'm going to work in an employee and a career and things like that from here. So I was kind of on this kind of plan. And a lot of the reason was because I had certain mind blocks or I saw as a wall, and it was really just a mental wall, different things. For example, that I couldn't do it, that it would be easier that I hadn't done it before. Well, my parents they didn't go out and start companies or things like that. So because of that, I chose to go a different path. And I started out as an employee working, doing computer engineering type of work. For me, it was something that I really didn't like doing, and I was not a good employee, and I wasn't thriving in that type of environment. I made a list of all types of different type of business ideas. I remember one was some kind of lipstick that did something special. And I started a business in the financial services industry. And I was still at the point, again, even though I had started something, which was good, I was still with all these mental blocks, kind of blocking me from really truly going from point A to point B. I was scared of hiring people. I was scared of doing things. I didn't believe in myself. I luckily, though, was able to find a mentor through this organization called SCORE, who kind of took me under his wing. He had sold his oil company, and he was dedicating himself and his time to help other people. And we really hit it off. And he became a good friend as well as a mentor. And 90% of what he said to me was, "You can do it, Eric. Just do it. Don't be scared. You can do it." So, again, I was basically at this point A. I was trying to go along to point B, trying to take the short route, but I was still kind of getting caught up in a lot of, because I had this mental wall, and I had to start getting rid of things that I can do it. I can believe myself, and so I continued. It took me years just to hire my first employee because I was scared to do it. And eventually the business started growing and thriving. I was really, really focused on the money. Show me the money. And unfortunately, I wasn't as patient with people as I should have been. I wasn't as diplomatic. I wasn't as caring. And as a result, it was making more money than I had ever before. This was many years ago too. It was making net profit. It was making over $1 million per year, which was a lot for me. It was something really great. However, at the same time, I was attracting all types of different issues into my life. So I was succeeding, I guess, financially, if you could call it that. There was a lot of monetary reward coming in. However, at the same time, I had various issues with people and arguments and stress. So there was money, yes, but the stress was incredible. And in other words, it was affecting my health. I was getting sick frequently. I was stressed. I wasn't able to fully enjoy the fruits of my labor, or the fruits of whatever you call it, the reward. And then things even got worse, that I had trusted a tax professional, an attorney and CPA who was supposed to be world renowned. He was supposed to be one of the best in the world at international taxation, because I had some businesses internationally as well as in the States. And I found out after 8 years that he had done everything extremely wrong. And I found out at basically the same point that he was arrested and put in jail for basically doing all kinds of wrong things with regard to taxes. And the issue was so big that I was scared I was going to go to jail, be behind bars, and lose everything that I had worked so hard for. To solve the issue, I actually hired various tax people who were supposed to be the best in the industry, $500 to $800+ per hour. And then since I was learning about what they were doing at that point, I was noticing different mistakes and errors that they were making. So eventually I had to get on the phone. I had to break through some of my fears and my insecurities, that I couldn't do it, that I wasn't capable, that it was too hard. That because I had to. Either I solved it, or to me it was a life or death situation, because being behind bars wasn't something that was acceptable to me. That was just absolutely horrible, and I was depressed. But I did go through it, I did solve it, thank goodness, and I got the final letter. Everything was solved. They realized it wasn't my fault, but we still had to take care of the fines and things as the law states. It was almost $1 million in fines. So it was resolved, and what it helped me do is basically get through a lot of these old mental blocks that I had in terms of me do. No, let's be open to doing things in better ways to go from point A to point B and not being down here in this quagmire. It got through this old mental block that I had of that I couldn't do it. Okay, so we got rid of some stuff, and it got rid of a lot of my mental blocks of insecurities and so forth. I was also privileged enough that an individual who I made friends with, who was very, very successful in business, started sharing with me some concepts of meditation and spirituality. And I started incorporating those into the things that I was doing. So as a result of doing these things as well as some other things, the business has started to go really well. And I found myself in the Caribbean relaxing with a young woman, and she was from the States, and we were just having a great time. And I felt like I was, on one hand, that I was living this life that I had always wanted, where I could go do pretty much whatever I wanted. And businesses were running really smoothly. I had time. We go out and eat, go travel, do whatever we wanted, go have fun, go to the beach, and do all kinds of just fun things. At the same time, at this moment, I remember I was at this big table we had. We'd ordered in some food. We were relaxing. I said to her, I said, you know what? I need to do something more. Life isn't just about having a nicer car and this and that. So we started to brainstorm the name of a course that I would then share the concepts of, well, how did I go through all of this information and whittle it down to go from point A to point B the fastest. We came up, and she helped me come up with the name Power Life System. And then I wrote for about 4 to 5 years, and then I opened up a trial group to have individuals we could test it with. And now it's helping people all around the world. And I'm also applying it in the 5 companies that I'm helping lead and really transforming them to a new level, not just financially, but actually where it's fulfilling too as part of the business. So to answer the initial question, will money make you happy? Is that the key to happiness? And the answer is definitely when put into perspective. Money is going to give options, and it's going to give more power to reach more people. However, in order to truly enjoy, quote, the fruits of one's labor, I believe one sincerely needs to have a mission, or as Simon Sinek says, well, your why. What is the why? Why are we doing this? I am sharing this with you right now because that's my why, to help you go from point A to point B on the straight line, get rid of all these mental blocks that I had that took me so long to get rid of, so that you can basically not get caught up in this quagmire of stuff and not even reach it. You can go from point A to point B, basically following just using a vehicle to get there, right? But you need to get rid of those mental blocks first. So the answer is money definitely will not buy happiness. It will buy options. To have the happiness with money, from my personal experience, one needs a mission greater than ourselves. A why, something that's not just about ourselves, not just about a bigger car, a bigger house, or a home by the beach, or a nice luxury sedan. It's about making a positive impact in other people in a specific way that resonates most with you, because the way that resonates most with me is what resonates most with me. If this is a concept that you resonate with and that you're interested in more information on, in other words, how can you identify your why? How can you go from point A to point B directly? How can you get rid of maybe some mental blocks? Maybe you have some mental blocks too. If you had asked me if I had some, I would have said I had none, but I had tons. Wherever you are is perfectly fine. So if you're interested in going from point A to point B faster and easier, to step up your life, upgrade your life, accomplish more, and yes, have more money while you also have more joy and happiness, and you're resonating with a mission beyond just what can I have more money about myself, because it's not about just that. If that's something you resonate with, then what I've done is I've created a mini free course for you. But the 3 keys, because of all of the information, and we definitely have information overload today, I've organized it down into just 3 simple things to do consistently to go from point A to point B, to upgrade all areas of your life, not just the financial one, but one's health, one's equanimity, one's enjoyment, one's interpersonal, having that love of your life and actually attracting the specific person you most desire. I remember a long time ago, before I even practiced anything related to what I'm going to share with you, that I heard you need to set a goal, you need to be clear on what you want. I said, yeah, I'm absolutely clear on what I want. I want an individual, she needs to be attractive and fun and cute. And so then I started dating this young woman who was attractive, fun, and cute, but I hadn't included such qualities such as crazy jealous, like not crazy jealous, and maybe also faithful. So I got what I was goal setting on, but it wasn't truly what I desired in my heart. And then later on, I was listening to one of the most successful business individuals I've ever heard, just in terms of his influence on other people, as well as obviously financial success. And he said, okay, write down every single detail of what you desire in a partner. And I did. I wrote down 18 to 20 pages, and this was typed, 18 to 20 typed pages of every single quality that I most desired. And I even took it a step further, because I thought to myself, I said, Eric, well, if you ask somebody, for example, do you exercise, the other person kind of knows, so they'll probably say yes, or they have a greater likelihood to say yes. So I thought, okay, well, I'll ask a question like this. I'll say, well, so if you're at the bottom of an elevator and there's a lot of people in a long line and it's only on the 5th floor, would you wait or would you just climb up the stairs? And within 30 days, what I did was I wrote all these things down, I put my hand on it, I said thank you. And within 30 days, I met the individual with every single quality I had written down, 100%. So if this is a concept that you're interested in, upgrading every single area of your life, as well as having a mission that you resonate with, where work becomes play, or a lot more so, and you find that you're inspired that in terms of all that what you're doing, and it's for something greater than yourselves, and at the same time it's something that's also going to bring you financial rewards. If that's something that you're interested in, then like I said, I've organized it down to 3 things, the 3 keys to consistently upgrade your life. Take control of your life so that you can start having whatever the dreams or ideas that you have them becoming reality. And just comment below the video and put the word power, and my chat box will reply to you with more information about how to get that. Again, it's a free training, and I really think it'll positively impact your life. So this is Eric Michael from Power Life System, and thank you for watching, and I hope this can be beneficial in your life.